I'm 89 years old. I didn't think I'd still be here, and I didn't think I'd be this alone inside my own head. Most mornings I wake up before the sun, not because I'm disciplined or healthy. It's just that sleep doesn't hold me the way it used to. My body comes back before my mind is ready. I lie there, staring at the ceiling, listening to the house make its small sounds, and I think about time, how it thinned out without asking me, how it slipped through ordinary days I didn't think to pay attention to. No one told me it would feel like this at the end. Not pain, exactly, more like the weight of all the things I assumed I'd get to later. I move slow now. Everything takes longer. Buttons, shoes, words. Sometimes a thought is clear in my head, sharp and full, and by the time I try to say it, it's gone. That frightens me more than death ever did. Death always felt far away. This feels close. This feels like erosion. I spend a lot of time remembering, whether I want to or not. Memory doesn't ask permission when you get this old. It just opens doors. I see myself young, strong, busy. I see a man who thought he was doing everything right. In my 20s, I believed in momentum. I believed if I kept moving forward, things would sort themselves out. I had energy then, ambition, a sense that life was something you built, brick by brick, and if you worked hard enough, you'd arrive somewhere solid. I didn't question that. No one around me did either. I married young. She was kind, quieter than me. She laughed softly, like she didn't want to disturb anyone. I loved her, I think, or at least I loved the idea of the life we were setting up. We talked about the future the way young people do, like it was guaranteed. Kids, a house, stability. We assumed time was on our side. Work came first without me ever deciding it should. It just made sense. That's what a man did. I stayed late. I said yes. I told myself I was providing, building, securing something for later. She'd be at the table when I came home, sometimes already asleep on the couch. We'd talk about small things, groceries, schedules. I'd kiss her forehead and tell myself there would be more time on the weekend. There usually wasn't. In my 30s and 40s, life sped up. Children came, bills came, responsibilities stacked on top of each other like plates you didn't have time to wash. I was tired, but I felt necessary. That felt good. People needed me. My job rewarded me. I was respected. I told myself that mattered. I missed things without realizing I was missing them. A school play I arrived late to, a birthday dinner where my mind was still at the office, conversations where she was trying to tell me she felt lonely and I answered with solutions instead of listening. I thought love was something sturdy that could handle neglect as long as the foundation was strong. I didn't see the small withdrawals being made every day. The damage was quiet. That's the dangerous kind. Nothing broke all at once. We just became efficient, polite, functional. We shared a life without sharing much of ourselves. I noticed it sometimes, late at night, lying next to her, the space between us feeling wider than it should. I'd think, we should talk, and then I'd think, tomorrow. Tomorrow was always easier than now. By the time I slowed down enough to notice the cost, habits had hardened. The kids were grown, they had their own noise. My career peaked and then plateaued. The phone stopped ringing as much. The praise dried up. I didn't know who I was without momentum. She got sick when I was in my 60s. Not suddenly, gradually. Doctor's visits, medications, a new routine that revolved around weakness instead of growth. I was there physically, but I was still distant in ways I didn't understand yet.
I treated illness like a problem to manage, not an experience to share. One night she asked me if I was afraid to be alone. It caught me off guard. I said no. I said we were fine. I said practical things. She turned her face away, and I let the moment pass. She died on a quiet afternoon. I was holding her hand, but I don't know if she felt me. When the room emptied and it was just me and the sound of machines being turned off, something in me collapsed, not dramatically, just inward, like a building that had been hollow longer than anyone knew. After that, time became strange. Days stretched, the house felt too large, every object held a memory I hadn't earned the right to ignore anymore. I replayed conversations, moments I could have stayed, words I didn't say because they felt inconvenient at the time. Regret doesn't arrive all at once. It seeps in. It fills the gaps left by busyness. It asks questions you can't answer because the people who could answer them are gone. I lived longer after her than I lived before her, and that surprised me. I thought grief would end. It doesn't. It changes shape. It becomes quieter, heavier, more private. People stop asking how you're doing. They assume you've adjusted. I didn't fail in life the way people warn you about. I wasn't reckless. I didn't ruin everything. I delayed it to death. That's the truth no one told me. They warn you about bad choices. They don't warn you about reasonable ones made too often, about choosing later over now so many times that later never comes, about assuming relationships can survive on intention instead of attention. Now, at 89, I have time, endless time. I sit by the window and watch people walk past with their phones pressed to their ears, their minds elsewhere. I recognize myself in them. I want to stop them sometimes. I want to tell them that productivity is a poor substitute for presence. But I don't. People don't listen to old men, and maybe they shouldn't. Everyone has to learn in their own way, or not learn at all. My children visit when they can. They're kind. They're busy. I don't blame them. I see the same patterns. I see how life fills up. I tell them I'm proud of them. I don't tell them how quiet it gets at night, how silence can feel like a verdict. There are things I can't fix now, apologies that would land too late, conversations that exist only in my head, versions of myself I never became because I was too focused on becoming something else. I'm not bitter. That surprises people when I say it. I'm grateful, too. I had love. I had purpose. I had years many don't get. Gratitude and sorrow sit together at this age. They don't cancel each other out. If you're listening to this, I don't have advice. I don't trust advice anymore. I only have honesty. Life is not lost in disasters most of the time. It's lost in delays, in the belief that what matters will wait for you. It won't. One day you'll wake up and realize you're closer to the end than the beginning, and the truth will be very simple and very heavy. You lived, and some of it slipped past while you were busy proving you deserved to. I'm 89 now. I don't have much left to give except this. If this meant something to you, sit a little longer with someone today. Stay when it would be easier to leave. That's all I know for sure. When the room gets quiet again, and it will, those are the moments that come back to keep you company.